Okay, so this next video I will be creating is about Arduino modules that are available, and sometimes I think if I just go by memory, what do I know about what's available for Arduino modules? And I can't think of a whole lot. So I realized that to understand what the Arduino is capable of, I should probably study the modules that are available, and I can come up with a better understanding. Okay, so less talking and more doing. So I go to the Sale Electronics website, and at the top on the, I think it's the main website, product directory, I go to A, and I go down, and Arduino accessories. That might be interesting. I should check that out later. Arduino compatible modules. And there's related boards, Arduino shields. Well, I just want to look at the modules to start with. And here I am starting with the flame sensor. There's 2 pages, and there's an awful lot to cover. I don't know how much I'm going to cover, but I think it'll go quickly. Okay, so first there's the flame sensor module, operating voltage 4.75 volts to 5 volts, used to detect variations in light wavelength, such as fire flame detection in the range of 760 nanometers, what is that, nm to 1100 nm. 100% Arduino compatible, and I'll skip reading some of this information. $8.95. This seems to be a variation of the same thing. LM35 temperature sensor module. It uses a LM35 integrated circuit, can be used in numerous weather detection applications for home automation, weather monitoring. So this is not a flame sensor, this is a temperature sensor. Breakout board format allows for easy interfacing with Arduino. I click on it, it kind of says the same thing. It's manufactured by OSEP, which is a popular manufacturer of Arduino related products. And I guess if I was a lot more interested, there's schematic drawings that are also available. This is a humidity and temperature sensor module that easily connects to Arduino microcontrollers pre-calibrated at factory for precision measurements. Temperature range is 0 to 50 degrees Celsius, so it's above freezing, I guess. Line tracking sensor for Arduino LM393 and onboard LED indicator. Small 0.4 inch size infrared line tracking sensor for Arduino features sensitivity control, LM393, and onboard indicator LED. Build robots that follow a line with this. Operates on 5 volts DC. What you see in the picture is what you get. No schematic or documentation included. IR, infrared detector module. IR detector. Obstacle avoidance module. Detects when objects are within calibrated range. 3 pinouts. Maybe I should click on some of the pictures to get a close-up. I don't know if these are potentiometers or capacitors, but they're adjustable. IR follower module, W6 IR diodes. IR follower consists of 6 IR diodes. This infrared follower module can be used to sense infrared light as a way to guide your Arduino project. Pinouts overview. The device has a digital and analog output for each IR diode. The analog output for each respective LED will put out a voltage from ground to VCC depending on the amount of light applied to the diode. The digital output for each respective LED will put out VCC high if light is not detected and ground low if light is detected. Calibration. There is a trim pot in the center of the device. This trim pot is used to adjust the digital comparators. Turning this trim pot changes the point at which light is considered detected or not detected on the digital outputs. Turning it left will make the device more sensitive. Less IR light is needed to pull the digital outputs low. Turning it right will make the device less sensitive. More IR is needed to pull the digital outputs high. The trim pot does not Okay, the trim pot does not affect the analog outputs. Here's a close-up shot. Here's the trimmer. IR receiver module remote keypad for Arduino projects. Wirelessly control your Arduino project with the IR remote and IR receiver module. 3-pin outputs, ground, voltage, and signal. 3 to 5 volts operating range, so I guess you could maybe use this on a Pi. Guess it comes with this as well, the IR receiver. Yep, so it's both the remote and the receiver module. IR line sensor module, IR line sensor module. The OSEP, which is the manufacturer, IR line sensor module differentiates the reflections between dark and light surfaces. It utilizes the Fairchild QRE111 3GR miniature reflective object sensor and the NXP PCA 9691 AD converter. The 8-bit AD converter digitizes the sensor output. The sensor operates by emitting an IR signal via an LED and then measures the amount of reflection to determine the blackness of the surface. The module uses the I2C interface for data communication. The I2C lines are packaged with the power and ground lines into a modular connector, which allows easy plug-and-play operation. There are 2 connectors on the module to enable daisy chaining of multiple I2C devices together. This sensor module is ideal for designs that require to track black line on a white surface or vice versa, such as in a line following robot, or used to detect the outer perimeters of a competition ring. Features: plug and play with OSEP I2C expansion shield, 2 IR sensors per board with independent outputs, flexible blackness threshold that can be set via software setting, 8-bit ADC. I'm going to read some of this. I'm going to skip reading the rest. Here's a picture of it. This is a passive infrared sensor module, operating voltage 5 to 12 volts. The passive infrared sensor detects changes in motion within its environment. 100% Arduino compatible. IR proximity sensor module for measuring distance. This looks like the one we just covered, but it's different, I guess. The OSEP IR proximity sensor measures distances. It utilizes the Sharp GP2YOD805ZOF measuring sensor unit, which is composed of an integrated combination of photodiode, infrared emitting diode, and a signal processor. The digital value from the proximity sensor is read out on the I2C bus. The module uses the I2C interface for data communication. Joystick module, 3.3 to 5 volts. The 2-axis joystick is equipped with independent potentiometers, 1 per axis for analog reference. The joystick module comes equipped with headers to easily connect to a breadboard for rapid prototyping. Keypad membrane 3x4 matrix for Arduino with 7-pin flat cable, 9 centimeters. And its manufacturer is Velleman. LCD display panel module 16x2 for Arduino board. The LCD display is a 16 character by 2 line LCD display. The LCD contains a white LED for backlight display. The viewing angle of 180 degrees. Operating voltage is 5 volts. RFID read and write module, Arduino compatible. This RFID module allows to both read and write MyFair type RFID cards. Shows the operating voltage is 3.3 volts DC. Working current. Here's a closer look. Finger heartbeat detection sensor module for Arduino. Smallest heartbeat detection using fingerboard for Arduino is this size. Uses IR LED and sensor to place on finger. Output signal goes to ADC input on Arduino. Operates on 5 volts DC. Tilt ball switch sensor module for Arduino. Small tilt ball switch for Arduino is only this size. Has a tiny metal ball inside a tube that causes circuit contacts to close as the board is tilted. This is kind of important to know about. I would almost like to buy a bunch of these on eBay, even though I don't presently have a use for them. I'm sure I would. Relay module shield for Arduino. Small relay module shield for Arduino has a transistor, driver, LED indicator, and protection diode on board. And if we look close, it says 10 amps, 250 volts AC, or 10 amps to 125 VAC. Reed switch module operating voltage for 0.5 to 5.25 volts. The reed switch module acts as a single pole, single throw switch. The reed switch state is triggered high or low based on the proximity of a magnet. Okay, so there's this relay module and this one. They're both 5 volt, but I think this one's Cheney and this one's Velleman, so this might just be the same type of thing. Although the Velleman one's 550 and this one's 995. Not sure. Maybe there is a difference. Relay module 5 volt Arduino compatible. Even cheaper, I'd buy these. Operating voltage 5 volts DC. Relay current rating is thus. Relay module 4-channel interface board for high current. Not much explanation. It's Velleman. I mean, it's amazing that there's these little modules. It beats buying a kit and putting them together to try to make something happen. I wonder if you can get a voltage regulator for 5 volts and don't even use the Arduino, just plug that into a circuit. Anyway, sound sensor module 3 to 5 volts. The sound sensor is the perfect sensor to detect environmental variations in noise. What's interesting here, 4 milliamps current drain, analog voltage measurement through the signal pin. Ultrasonic sensor module. I think that's emitting a sound and then detecting it. VCC, trigger, echo, and ground. So it almost is like echolocation. You get a pulse that's sent out and the return signal. And I'm guessing this is the oscillator that creates the signal. Fan motor module, 3 to 6 volt max, Arduino compatible. The fan motor controller allows speed and direction control of low power DC motors. Speed, current, torque, made by OSEP. This one's a little more expensive, $37.95. Motor encoder module for adding precise position sensing. Motor encoder. The encoder modules are great for adding precise position sensing capabilities. The encoder has a 13-pole circumference and 2 A3144 Hall effect sensors. You can attach the encoder to any number of 25mm equivalent motors, ideal for making your own two-wheel balancing robots. Has an 11-pole encoder, 2 solid-state 3144 Hall effect sensors. Stepper motor controller, L298 dual bridge DC motor controller. This module allows for full control of 2 DC motors or 1 stepper motor. Driver is an L298N. Don't know what that is. Driver power supply. It says there's more information at the Velleman site. That link is not working. IRF 520 MOSFET driver module Arduino compatible. This little module is a breakout board for the IRF 520 MOSFET transistor. The module is designed to switch heavy DC loads from a single digital pin on your microcontroller. Its main purpose is to provide a low-cost way to drive a DC motor for robotics applications, but the module can be used to control most high current DC loads. Stepper motor driver 5 volt ULN 2003 with stepper motor 5 volts DC, a small and versatile motor and driver set. This 5 volts DC stepper motor controlled by the ULN 2003 driver can be used with any Arduino or compatible boards via jumper leads, 4-phase LED Four-phase LED indicates the status of the stepper motor. Features with LED step indicators includes a 5-volt stepper motor and a ULN 2003 controller module cable. So what's the IC? I guess maybe the IC is like a microcontroller IC. I could look that up separate. Well, if I type in, you didn't see this, but if I type in ULN 2003 up over here, well, we've got some stepper motor tutorials. We've got the chip itself. The ULN 2003A is an array of 7 NPN Darlington transistors capable of 500 milliamps, 50 volts output. It features common cathode flyback diodes for switching inductive loads. It comes in PD, IP, SOIC, SOP, or TSSOP packaging. $12.95. Motor driver module can drive 4-wire stepper or 2 DC motors. Motor driver module, motor driver can drive a 4-wire stepper motor or 2 DC motors simultaneously. For your Arduino, sorry, I don't know why I laughed. For your Arduino project, ability to control motor direction and speed when used with an Arduino. L298 dual H-bridge driver must be the IC. Reverse motor polarity, motor direction. The driver comes with a 5-volt linear regulator supply. The 5-volt supply is enabled with a jumper. If your motor supply is higher than 12 volts, it's recommended that you remove the jumper and use an external supply. The 5-volt supply is enabled with a jumper. Okay, so here's what the L298 looks like. And if we go back to the product, it looks like this is actually situated within the heatsink. It's hard to see. Like, I think here's the L298 here, and the metal backplate is screwed into the heatsink. Stepper motor, 4-phase and driver module. The ULN 2003A stepper motor is used to control 4-phase bipolar stepper motors such as the 228BYJ. I wonder if that's a BYJ48 stepper motor. So here's what comes up on a 28BYJ48 stepper motor. Google image search. Some of this might be good learning. Tap knock sensor for Arduino. Small size tap knock sensor for Arduino detects knocks and taps with momentary output. Detects knocks and taps. What does that mean? Like a sound sensor? I guess if any of these pique my interest upon watching this later, I should probably go look them up separately on YouTube. A touch sensor module, 3 to 5 volts, easy breakout to connect to Arduino, detects body capacitive touch, outputting analog voltage. 3-pin outs, ground, VCC, and signal. Made by OSEP. Guess you touch it. Here's another touch sensor module, 4-digit, 2.45 to 5.5 volts max, 4-digit touch sensor module. The 4-digit touch sensor is the perfect board for projects requiring numerical input. The 4-digit sensor uses capacitive touch keypads, allowing users to create their own password-protected projects. Piezo sensor module, 3.5 to 5 volts. The piezo sensor acts both as an output buzzer device and an input device measuring sound pressure. Wide supply voltage range, we already mentioned. Digital output buzzer. So it's a sensor and a buzzer. And it senses what? It's both an output and an input device measuring sound pressure. Analog input sound pressure sensor. DC to DC voltage step-up module, OP, 5 to 55 volts DC, IP 3.5 to 35 VDC. This module converts the microcontroller's power supply into a higher adjustable voltage. Specifications: input voltage 3.5 to 35 VDC, output voltage 5 to 55 VDC. Chip is an LM2577. Okay, here's the, what does it even say it? LM2577S. It's a different version. Here's the data sheets. I guess that's what it looks like. Okay, Texas Instruments LM2577 requires few external components, NPN output switches. Okay, 57 kilohertz internal oscillator. The LM257 are monolithic integrated circuits that provide all of the power and control functions for step-up, boost, flyback, and forward converter switching regulators. The device is available in 3 different output voltage versions, 12 volts, 15 volts, and adjustable. Requiring a minimum number of external components, these regulators are cost-effective and simple to use. Listed in this datasheet are a family of standard inductors and flyback transformers designed to work with these switching regulators. Included on this chip is a 3.0 amp NPN switch and its associated protection circuitry consisting of current and thermal limiting and under voltage lockout. Other features include a 52 kHz frequency oscillator that requires no external components, a soft start mode to reduce inrush current during startup, and current mode control for improved rejection of input voltage and output load transients. And this shows the pinouts: voltage in, switch, ground, feedback, comp. So this voltage step up has one of these LM2577s in it. So this was step up, this one looks like step down. DC voltage step down module, 1.25 to 35 volts DC. DC to DC adjustable voltage step down module using an LM2596S. Voltage sensor module. It's cheap. The voltage sensor can detect the supply voltage from 0.245 volts to 25 volts. Well, that's a pretty cheap voltmeter. I don't know how it displays the voltage. Yeah, if I'm watching this again, I'd love to look this one up on YouTube to see how that's used. Looks like a simple, easy one. Red laser sensor module for Arduino. Red laser sensor module for Arduino. Small red laser module sensor for Arduino. Produces 650 nm red dot. This is a cheapie. It's a phototransistor, looks like. I think if I'm correct. Photoresistor, excuse me. Light sensor module, photoelectric sensor used to detect ambient light, can be used to detect light intensity in numerous home automation industrial applications. Easily connect breakout board to Arduino. 3 pinouts, ground, VCC, and signal. Okay, analog voltage, detects ambient light density. LED module, blue Arduino compatible. The LED module allows easy plug-and-play configuration to your Arduino's input-output lines. The LED can be controlled through a PWM signal or a digital high-low output. Okay, it looks like it's featuring different colors: blue, green, yellow, red, white, and then you get a kit with all the different colors. Color sensor module. Okay. Color sensor module including TSC 3200 RGB chip and 4 white LED. I'll start a new video. A complete color detector. One second. Write something down. A complete color detector including TSC 3200 RGB sensor chip and 4 white LEDs detects and measures a wide range of visible colors. That's amazing. Didn't even know that existed. Applications include color sorting, color matching, and ambient light sensing. Now that would be handy. Accelerometer module, ADXL345, 3-axis MEMS with 13-bit resolution. The OSEP ADXL345 is a 3-axis MEMS accelerometer with 13-bit resolution measurement at up to plus or minus 6G. Digital output data is formatted as 16-bit 2s complement and is accessible through either an SPI 3 or 4 wire or I2C digital interface. I have no idea what this is, but it's $23. This one's expensive. Accelerometer and gyro breakout balancing module. The MPU 6050 balancing module is a 6-axis motion tracking device that combines a 3-axis gyroscope, 3-axis accelerometer, and a digital motion processor, DMP, which allows motion processing and gesture recognition algorithms. Ideal for making your own two-wheeler balancing robot. And there's lots of stats and specifications, and even a schematic, which would be interesting, but I want to be able to complete this video. Gyroscope sensor module looks a lot like the other two modules. Gyroscope sensor module is a 3-axis gyroscope sensor. It utilizes the InvenSense MPU 3050 motion processor unit, providing a full-scale range from plus or minus 250 degrees up to 2000 degrees of angular rate measurement, while providing the highest robustness support, 10,000 G of shock. Hall magnet linear sensor module for Arduino. Small Hall effects magnetic sensor for Arduino is 0.6 inches by 1.39 inches. Can be used for motor speed measurement, object position detection, etc. Has onboard Hall sensor, and LM393 operates on. Okay, I look up the LM393 and a voltage comparator comes up and a bunch of other stuff. But here's an LM393. It's a dual voltage comparator. Here's the larger format, dual voltage comparator, Motorola 3 LM393AN, general purpose, 8-pin DIP, 10 pieces. Hall magnetic switch module, Arduino compatible, 2 pieces. This device includes an on-chip Hall voltage generator for magnetic sensing, an amplifier that amplifies the Hall voltage, a Schmitt trigger to provide switching hysteresis for noise rejection, and an open collector output. Compass sensor module for low-field magnetic sensing. The OSEP compass, this almost looks like a generic picture when they don't have one. It says click me. The OSEP compass sensor module is a 3-axis digital compass for low-field magnetic sensing. It utilizes the Honeywell HMC 5883L state-of-the-art high-resolution magneto-resistive sensors, an ASIC containing amplification, automatic degaussing strap drivers, and I'm not even going to read the rest of this because it's just a little too sophisticated. I'd have to look something like this up. Here's a shock sensor module for Arduino. Small shock sensor for Arduino is a small size. It has an onboard shock sensor that responds momentarily to vibration, has only 3 leads, power, ground, and output, normally open contacts. Alcohol gas sensor module, MQ3, LPG, butane, methane, hydrogen, smoke. The alcohol gas sensor can detect a range of different gases such as LPG, I mentioned that. Bluetooth module, Arduino compatible for a 2.4 GHz antenna. The HC06 Bluetooth module is the simplest way to add Bluetooth communication to your next Arduino project. Allow your projects to wirelessly communicate with each other. Whether you're looking to control an Arduino with a smartphone or a pair of multiple Arduinos to each other, this is the module for the job. Okay, next is another Bluetooth module with no picture and no price, so maybe they're just adding this now. This is expensive. OSEP Bluetooth 2.1 board. The OSEP Bluetooth board introduces Bluetooth connectivity to its users with the Blue Gaiga WT11 Class 1 Bluetooth 2.1 plus EDR module with more than 10 supported Bluetooth profiles. This board can be used for a multitude of BT-related projects. I'm going to pause some of this to read this. Schematic link. Line follower array for Arduino, 5 volts, 5 reflective optical, maybe means optical, sensor, $39.95. The line follower array module is perfect for robotic navigation applications. The module features 5 reflective optical sensors used to accurately track black surfaces from white. 100% Arduino compatible, 5 reflective optical sensors, TCRT 5000s, and it's got a schematic. Potentiometer module. The potentiometer module is available to adjust and read variations in voltage. So it can read the voltage too? Here's an Arduino compatible sensor module, set 37 in 1. I should probably go look at some of the kits I have to see what I even have and see how many of these different little modules I have. I don't know, I didn't even see some of these on the list. Rotary encoder I did not see. A button I did not see. Passive buzzer, I don't know if I saw that. Don't know what a light cup is. That actually completes the Arduino compatible modules listing in the product directory that I mentioned at the beginning of this video.